Well, here we go. Can't do it. Woo! Sorry about that. It was a little hot with that bandana on. But, this Austin, Texas... Sorry. This Austin, Texas Raw. Was it a good Raw? Honestly. I don't feel it was a great Raw. It was... I don't feel it was that good either. I mean, we got some good stuff in here, but I don't feel it was that good. So I'm going to talk about the match for Daniel Bryan first. Could leave it for last, but I'm going to do it now. Now, we know in the early points of the show, we got a contract signing, which is very rare. I've never seen one. No, not never seen one. I haven't seen one in a very long time at the beginning of the show. It's very rare. So, what do we get? We get 3 matches for Daniel Bryan. One with Antonio Cesaro, one for Jack Swagger, as I call him, the trucker, and one with Ryback. The best match out of all 3 was the Antonio and Bryan match. Hands down, that was the best. And I believe that was the best match of the night. It was. But what does this mean? I mean, the trucker Jack Swagger did his bit, and Ryback, who is basically irrelevant, when his interview with Josh Matthews came on, I had no interest. I even turned it off. The only thing that did was 2 things. 1, it really hyped Daniel Bryan up for SummerSlam. And 2, this is to help John Cena help him to do something before SummerSlam. Because he has nothing to do. He has no challengers. So what happened? When Ryback power slams, well, not power slams, he power bombs, a Bryan into a table, John Cena comes out and said, you want to do that? You like doing that? Do that with me. Let's do a tables rack match next week. They have nothing for John Cena to do. So they had no choice but to stick Ryback on him again. No one really cares that much of a Ryback. What he did on SmackDown, and I don't watch SmackDown. Sorry, I have allergies. I haven't watched SmackDown in a while. I've been a bit burnt out from it. As much as it's not too bad, I've been burnt out. So I have been watching, but the snippets they showed on Raw showing that he attacked Chris Jericho was to lead up to this. And do I have interest? No. But I can say that Daniel Bryan doing what he did in all 3 of those matches really hypes up for him going into SummerSlam. I'm a little more interested to see what they're going to do with him. Now, since I'm talking about Daniel Bryan, I might as well talk about CM Punk. Yin and yang. Seeing CM Punk with Paul Heyman, Paulie on the Titantron, and Punk in the ring. Good segments. I'm actually more interested in the CM Punk and Brock Lesnar match than I will be with Daniel Bryan and Cena. Honestly, I will be. Because the way they're doing this, if CM Punk has to go through everyone to get to Paul Heyman, that means he has to go through a Axel, maybe even RVD. I don't think they'll do that, but if they actually did, this would be something new. I'm not saying they will, and I don't think No Job Rob will do his job because of what happened that night. But let's see it from a positive standpoint, ladies and gentlemen. If he goes through Brock and wins, then the next person he could go through is a Curtis Axel. Then he can go through a Rob Van Dam. You never know. This could be something interesting. Rob Van Dam versus CM Punk. That's something we haven't seen. Something that's totally new. And even though Rob's been around a while, this would be something entirely new for Rob Van Dam. If he pulls a heel turn, he hasn't done one in a very long time. Actually, he hasn't done one at all. I mean, even when he was with the King in the very beginning when he first started out, that wasn't even much of a heel turn at all. He was still almost a face. So, this would be something new for him. And that's what I'm kind of hoping. They progress this. Allow Paulie to get more and more in trouble until finally CM Punk gets his hands on him. And that would be good. Maybe they can stretch this to Survivor Series. And in the end, CM Punk finally gets it. So, let's move on to, since I was talking about Rob Van Dam versus a Wade Barrett. I feel sorry for Wade. They've done nothing with him. And it kind of shows in this match. Wade either got busted in the nose or busted in the mouth, but Robbie really ripped his mouth open, or nose, whatever. And I wasn't interested. In the end, Rob doesn't job, but doesn't matter. Rob needed a win. Wade is a loss. I would rather see Wade go over to TNA than stay there. Honestly. Either that and go to NXT for a while. Maybe he might get some more better exposure, something. I'm not seeing anything with this. So I'm going to move on. Now I'm going to move on to Primetime Players. Both matches for each. Now I'm going to do Titus O'Neil first, who I really believe is undervalued so badly. He has the look. He has the mic skills, pretty good. He has basically some good in-ring work. He got some great charisma, but the in-ring presence sucks because he's been jobbing so much. I know people will see a dominant monster, but if he loses to a Christian, what's the point? I'm sorry, Christian should have never won. But it's understandable why Christian had to win, because he spent 9 months off of TV because they couldn't write him into any storyline. They couldn't even put Christian into a match, a dark match, just to let people know he's still around. But no, they had to say he was out because he was injured. 9 months of doing nothing, sitting in the back and just waiting until someone says, okay, we're going to let you do something. I can understand the reason why he won, but still, stupid, they both suffered. Now, Darren Young and Dolph Ziggler, and my feelings for Dolph, I said this before. They don't believe Dolph is ready for the main title scene. So they're going to stick him in mid-card. And I believe Mr. Parker might have said this himself. But I really believe the reason they're sticking him mid-card because they just don't believe he's ready yet. That's the reason why they stuck him with someone they knew he could work with because he's been around them so much, and that's Biggie Langston. Now, the match between Dolph and Darren Young, and I can say in this match Darren Young wasn't very well highlighted, and the one with him and CM Punk, he was much better highlighted. But you can't say Darren Young doesn't have some ability. He loses the match, and he basically outwits a Biggie Langston. But seeing that Biggie having feelings for AJ, this is my 5th time doing this video. And this is one of the reasons I got angry. Because they're showing Biggie Langston with AJ. This is now the 6th or the 7th man she's been with. I lost count how many fucking men she's gone and wanted to screw. Look, AJ's been around for a while. She had her run. It's time to just let her drop. I know she's still the Divas champion, but still, this, come on. I'm tired of it. I'm bored with it. And that kind of leads me into the Miz TV segment. I was bored with it. Seeing Eva Marie smack a Jerry the King Lawler because he looks at her funny, I don't see any good, interesting TV in that. I know the Miz opened not too badly, and the videos package they had from Total Divas wasn't too bad. I don't have any hatred towards the Bellas. I don't. They're not great, but I commend them for coming back when they know women are not treated that well in that company. But that's not saving this. Look, and I've said this so many times, I love a Naomi. I do. I admit that she could have wore some, I think this is eyeshadow she put over her eyelids, and I always forget the name of it. It could have been a more earthy, darker color. It didn't have to be so silverish. She didn't need it. But I love her. I do believe that she has potential to be a great Divas champion. But that doesn't mean I'm going to look at every single show she's going to be on. The problem here is this, ladies and gentlemen. They show everybody on Saturday Morning Slam and all the others. And when you overexpose something, look, Paul Heyman had it right the first time. You show only so much. He did that in ECW, showed only so much of the back. That made it interesting, especially that was the first time people started doing that. But when you start showing the back all the time, the thing that has to be mystique must be their real personal lives. And now you're going to show your personal lives, and I'm sure they did this on the WWE Network. I don't even know if the damn thing's still on. You guys tell me. I haven't tried to look. But in the end, you show too much of something, it becomes irrelevant because you oversaturate. And that's how I feel with Total Divas. It's oversaturated. Will I see it? Maybe one episode. That will be the one that first comes out. And that will be after my birthday, which is my birthday Saturday. It's coming. Happy birthday to me. But I'm just going to take a look just to see what it might be, but I doubt I'm going to have any interest. So I'm moving on. Now, ADR and Sheamus. What does this mean? Sheamus had one hell of a bad, blown... I mean, that bruise looked like someone shot him. That's how bad it was. But in the end, what do we get? We get ADR winning. And a Damien Sandow watching. This means they must make ADR as dominant as possible, so they're going to job out Sheamus. I don't know what they're going to do with Sheamus. He may become irrelevant soon. He's been in the title scene for quite a while. So he may just start jobbing for a while because they have nothing for him to do. So that kind of brings me to the next segment I want to talk about, and that's the Mark Henry segment. With Sheamus being possibly jobbing out because they have nothing for him to do right now, this kind of goes into Mark Henry. Mark Henry's been turned to a face. He did a great segment saying, "This is my hometown. I'm proud of it. I'm proud that I grew up about a block away from here." I wasn't too fond of him saying that he was proud of the work he did with John Cena, but that's what they're making him do. But I feel that it's this reason he turned to a face is because they have no option. The Shield has been seen for quite a while and they have no more credible threats. So I believe that they're teaming him up with the Usos because they have nothing more for the Shield to do. The Shield has gone through practically everybody. There's no one left for them to go through. But here's the thing. The Shield has not progressed. They're still exactly as they were before they got the titles. And even after they got the titles, they're still the same. So I believe they finally ran out of steam with the Shield. Either they're going to break these guys up, or they're going to keep them together and they're just going to become empty. So seeing Mark Henry get over on the Shield was okay, but doesn't mean it was the right thing to do, because he was probably, I don't know what else to call it. I mean, it's like they had an afterthought with Mark Henry. They had an afterthought with the Shield. And they thought, you know what? We just had a random attack on Mark Henry, but it seems to work. Why don't we stick them together? That's what I feel. That's what it comes down to. Now, just in case I didn't say anything about Paulie and CM Punk, I don't think I did. That segment for them is pretty good. So what does this mean? Just in case I didn't. I'm sorry, it's really hot in here. It's almost 97 degrees in this room. But I'm putting it like this. If, wait a minute, I think I did do this. I'm so sorry. Like I said, it's hot, it's kind of hard to think. So, let's see here. The Shield, Ryback, Sheamus. I can say this. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the Wyatt family. The video packages for them is still pretty good. And I am still very interested in them. So I'm wondering, what are they going to do? Who are they going to put them up against? I know that Kane and R-Truth are the ones who've been hit so far. I don't think they're going to team them together to go after them, but you never know. So I hope they structure them properly. And the last thing I'm talking about is Teddy Long and Booker T. Now that Vicky Guerrero is the general manager of SmackDown, and I really thought they're going to team her up with Brad Maddox. I really did believe that. So, what does this mean? I believe that they're going to let Booker T go back into active roster, and Teddy Long is going to have someone he's going to manage. It would make some sense. Who would he have? Right now, Antonio Cesaro is busy. So maybe it might be one of the Shield. I'm taking a guess. Maybe a Roman Reigns or Damien Sandow. I'm hoping one of those three will get managed by Teddy Long. Do I believe that? No. There's a good chance they're going to drop this feud, which, if they do, is stupid. Why would tease it before, then drop it because Booker T gets hurt, and then go back to it just so they would begin it and then stop it again? That's what I was thinking. So, how would I rate this show? I really wanted to give this a B-, but I think I'm going to give it a C+. I know there were certain parts of it that were really good, but I just don't see it. I don't. And really, Curtis Axel should be on Raw right now. He wasn't there. So, I just don't know. Don't get me wrong. The Daniel Bryan match with Antonio Cesaro was great. I loved it. But that wasn't enough to save this show. I just don't see a lot of great things in this show. But I have to admit, with Cody Rhodes, it's a very big question mark what they're going to do. Of course, he won the Fandango, like I said. Just in case I didn't. It's hot in here, like I said. But it's a possibility they're going to have a match at SummerSlam for that Money in the Bank contract. My guess is, if I'm right, if I didn't say this earlier, if Damian is going to have a match with Cody, it might be over that Money in the Bank briefcase. Because they're emphasizing the briefcase so much. I still don't feel like this show could be a B-. I still feel like it's a C+ rating. Because as much as some good things were done in it, you can't save all of it. I had no interest in John Cena and Ryback. I had no interest in Ryback at all. I mean, Dolph should be in the main title scene, but he's working with Biggie Langston because they have no faith in him. Look at Wade Barrett, basically constantly jobbing. I just don't see it. So I hope you enjoyed this Zane's View. Subscribe and comment to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry if I sound a little weird. It's just really hot in here, and it just makes it hard to think. This is my 5th video, and it sucked. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Give me your idea what would have been better for this show, and should I have given it a higher rating. Have a good day.